Look around your room. The light overhead, the water moving behind the walls, the cold food waiting in the refrigerator. It feels permanent. It isn't. None of this is nature. It is a bubble held open against the planet by people you never see. And tomorrow morning, every one of them is gone. Not dead, not hiding, just gone. For the first few hours, almost nothing happens. An alarm rings beside an empty bed. A traffic light turns green for no one. The planet does not notice. Because when humans vanish, the world does not end. Only human control does. And the first place that control breaks is not the sky. It is underground. In his book, The World Without Us, Alan Wiseman pointed out that New York's subway only stays dry because pumps haul out about 13 million gallons of water every single day. Not in a storm. On a normal day. With no one to run them, those pumps die within hours. Water climbs the lowest tracks, swallows the rails, and within a couple of days the tunnels turn into rivers. That is the first surprise. A city does not start dying from its skyline. It starts dying from underneath. Above ground, the world still looks orderly for a while. Then the power fails, and the cold chain breaks. Meat rots, bread molds inside the bag, a supermarket stops being abundance and becomes what it always was. Decay, paused by electricity. And when that pause ends, the first winners arrive. Not wolves, not deer. None of the beautiful animals people picture when they imagine nature coming back. The winners are rats, cockroaches, and crows. Anything that already learned to live on our edges. They do not need the planet to heal. They only need us to stop standing in the way. But for the animals closest to us, our absence is not freedom. It is abandonment. A locked apartment dog does not know the world changed. It only knows the door never opens. A fish tank does not become a pond. It becomes a sealed box slowly running out of oxygen. The pets we loved most are often the first to learn what human absence really means. Not liberation, dependency exposed. Livestock face the same trap on a far larger scale. Billions of animals bred for sheds and feedlots, shaped by us to fit a system of fences and feed and medicine. Remove us, and the system does not free them. It fails them. That is the part people skip. We did not only build a world for ourselves, we redesigned other lives to fit inside it. Then the split begins, and it runs everywhere. Some creatures suffer because they were too close to us. Others surge the moment our pressure lifts. Roads go silent. Deer cross highways with no headlights coming. Foxes hunt through city parks in daylight. This is not peaceful wilderness. It is a scramble, and the fastest winners are whatever can use our leftovers first. We have actually seen a preview of all this, and its name is Pripyat. It was a city of nearly 50,000 people beside the Chernobyl plant until the spring of 1986, when everyone was ordered out in a single afternoon and never allowed home. Today, it is the largest abandoned city in Europe, and the forest is eating it. Trees push up through the asphalt. The Grand Main Avenue has narrowed to a single dirt track, and in summer you can no longer see the apartment blocks for the leaves. In an amusement park that was due to open that very spring, a Ferris wheel stands rusting in the branches. Inside the buildings, the furniture, the books, the children's toys are all still there. Everything stayed. Only the people left. And into that silence the animals walked back. Wolves, boar, deer, and wild horses now move through the empty streets. The radiation never went away. And still, for a large animal, a poisoned forest with no people turned out to be safer than an ordinary landscape full of roads, fences, and guns. Human absence is not paradise, but it can be the biggest thing that ever happened to a place. Now picture that pressure lifted from the whole planet. Engines stop, traffic stops, the air over the cities clears within months, and uncontrolled life moves fast. With no crews to patch them, the great boulevards crack and buckle in the first few winters. Seeds take root exactly where we fought them hardest. Gutters, rooftops, the cracks in the road. Plants are not decoration on a ruin. They are a demolition crew in slow motion. A root does not know what a sidewalk is. It only knows where the water is. It follows the crack. The crack widens. Rain gets in. Ice expands. The concrete lifts. The city loses one tiny argument at a time. And a building does not need a disaster to fail. It needs a roof leak nobody patches and a drain nobody clears before winter. Wood swells, Steel rusts, mold spreads, the ceiling sags. Civilization was never just monuments. It was small repairs, repeated forever. Remove the people, and the Earth does not have to attack. It only has to continue. Then the clock runs. Within about 20 years, Wiseman estimates, the soaked steel beams that hold the streets up over the subway corrode and give way, and whole avenues collapse into the tunnels below. And you do not have to imagine the rest, because part of it already exists. On the coast of Cyprus, there is a resort town called Varosha, one of the most glamorous destinations in the world until its people fled in 1974. It has stood empty ever since. Now trees grow up inside its hotels, grass and sand bury the streets, and birds are the only guests left in the apartments. This is the reversal nobody expects. The city does not simply become ruins. First, it becomes habitat. A balcony becomes a nest, a flooded tunnel becomes a river, a skyscraper becomes a cliff for nesting birds. Nature does not restore the city. It repurposes it. And the planet does not erase us evenly. Wet cities rot fast. Desert towns stand for centuries, bleached and dry. Coastlines are chewed away by salt and storms. But the direction is always the same. Give it 300 years, Wiseman thought, and the great bridges drop into the rivers. Give it 500 and the concrete jungle has quietly become a real one. The strongest towers corrode, crack, and come down. Skeletons, then rubble, then ground. And once the city becomes ground, the last stage begins. We would disappear long before our evidence does. Future geologists, if there are any, might never find your name or your language. But they would find the layer: plastic, concrete dust, aluminum, the ash of burned fuel, the faint radioactive trace of the weapons we tested, and maybe the strangest fossil of all, chicken bones. Not because chickens ruled the earth, but because we bred and ate so many billions of them that scientists now argue the broiler chicken will be a signature of our age, pressed into the rock itself. A thin line that says, for one brief moment, a single species became a geological force. So if humans vanished tomorrow, the earth would not end. But it would not simply heal back into the world before us, either. That world is gone. We moved species across oceans. We turned forests into farms and rivers into reservoirs. We left behind plastics and concrete and carbon that no ecosystem was built to digest. The planet would not go back to the world before humans. It would become the world after humans. Ugly first, then quiet, then green, then strange. Habitat, then ruin, then sediment, then evidence. So look around your room one more time. The light, the water, the cold food. The quiet belief that tomorrow will look like today. None of it is permanent, it is an arrangement. A temporary agreement between us and a planet that never promised to hold our shape. The Earth does not need us to continue. It only needed us to keep the world looking like ours, and without us it would not go back. It would go on.